I thank all of you for coming, and it's been enough. Is this in my honor?
How's my buddy doing?
It's because.
Hey, young man.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Good to see you.
Good to see you, Luther.
Thank you.
You knew I'd have to be here with my camera, didn't you?
I knew you would be here, and I said, I'm going to look my best. How do I look?
Oh, you look like $1 million, man. Can you tell me about this old board, Ron?
Oh man, I remember this old board well, and I was surprised to see it alive. I understand that someone named Jeff did all the hard work to put this back together, and he did a great job.
So this is the original board that they signed on with.
This is where you would hear Dale Anthony in the morning, Tommy Jett would come along, yours truly, and Johnny Eagle.
Then Tommy Jett.
Yeah.
So that's the original board. Boy, I tell you, Gates made a good board, didn't they?
They did. They did.
Still going since 1961, man.
2 big turntables there. We played 45s. You played your commercials on that. And that was it.
And I believe this is Dale's picture
This
right
is me.
here.
That's me at this console in 1961.
Okay, man, we've all changed.
That's right. That's right.
Imagine that.
Hey, this right here, this is something here. This is the control panel that kicked off the gold record, the Hall of Fame, and the whole thing.
And Ben.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, you got that.
Time at the chime.
Time at the chime. Oh, man.
Jet Fly. Time at the chime.
It was louder than that back then.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So how did you get the chime? How did you get the? How did you hook that up?
I didn't hook it up.
Well, someone found it though.
And Ben,
found it.
if this light started flashing, you knew something big and special was happening.
So you rip and read it.
Yeah. This meant, so this
Go
light.
get the news copy immediately.
If this light was flashing, that was it, right?
It would flash fast and bright, and you knew. Stop everything, hold everything. We've got to tell people about what's going on when this started flashing. What you don't see here, they've got one over there, but what you don't see, that you'll see when you walk in the control room, is a telephone. And as you know, at a radio and TV station, they don't have a ringer on the telephone. They use lights. And what you loved about Jet Fly was when Ben Cagle was on, when Dell was on, Tommy Jett, whoever was on, those lights would be just flashing constantly, like a heartbeat, really. Just hundreds of people calling in to make their record request.
Yeah, and you remember they used to do what they call I don't know what they call it, but when they would all call in at the same time, they would get their spillover, and they would chat with each other because the phone lines were always busy. What they called that term? They had a term for it, and they could all talk to each other from different places, and they would chat in the background while the busy song was on. Of course, we used to always, I was telling my wife, you'd have those 2 big turntables, and we all talked to girls on the phone. I mean, let's be honest.
I was going to say, a few of the guys would talk to girls from time to time. I don't think anybody was married then, so they were all trying to get acquainted with someone that liked their type music.
So then what would happen is usually you're supposed to queue up, and I can still remember doing this to this day, that the record would play out and the commercial would play out, and then I'd realize I hadn't queued another record up. Now that's when you had to queue a record up. They wouldn't have just put a cartridge in there and play your song.
Somebody's going to hear you say that, and they're going to say, "What's a record?" That's right. What's a record? What's he talking about?
See, I looked even in the 70s, they put ashtrays on them. I mean, we played them. We played 45s and a few album cuts on them, and that was it. Yep, that's it.
I started to say if this old control board could talk, but maybe we wouldn't want to hear those stories. There's probably a few people that wouldn't want to hear those stories in particular.
I tell you what, I got to say one thing about Tommy. Tommy never had a doubt about what he wanted to be. He wanted to be a disc jockey. And I can remember, and I wish I could remember the name of the drive-in down on Old Highway 41 in East Ridge, where you turn off to go to Lake Pasoka. Was that what it was, the rebel driving?
Yeah.
I used to ride around that, we'd ride with Tommy. He had a 55 Chevrolet, powder blue, and his name was stenciled down the side of it in letters this high, Tommy Jet. I swear, I wish I'd seen the picture. Oh man, I tell you what, we'd ride through there with him. We'd go down there talking to girls, and you know, of course I was 16, 17. He was probably 18 or 19. He couldn't have been any older than that. We were all kids. I guess Johnny Swooper was probably the oldest. He or Johnny Stevens, Johnny Midnight. But I can remember doing that. It's a wonder we survived those years. Of course, see, I was young, and when Billy would come into town, I was the junior person, and I had to chauffeur him around. Nadine Gray was the sales manager, and when he come into town, Billy liked to tilt a few. Any of them know that. So she didn't want him driving, and I got to drive him. Well, it paid me, same.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'd go out and have dinner or whatever he could drink, and then I'd bring him back over here to his old farm.
Yeah. Wow.
19-year-old. There's Ben Cagle behind the. Do a flip, do a selfie.
You know I can't get away from
do a selfie, baby.
I'm listening to some things that he tells about this fellow up at the university. He was captivating the young ladies up there.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
You first applied at WDS, didn't you?
I applied at WDXB because I could walk. I could walk from the dorm downtown. They were in the Dome building, and Jerry Linger was the program director.
Yeah, he hitchhiked over here.
And he said no, but they've got an opening over at JetFly, and they called Johnny, and Johnny said, yeah, tell him to come over right now. So I didn't have a car, and I hitched. This was before the interstate. I hitched down, got a ride down to Mount Vernon, then had to hitchhike around the mountain, and then down Brown's Ferry, and I walked from wherever they let me off on Elder Mountain Road from there here. Then I was out of breath and had to do an audition.
Yeah, read this right quick.
Yeah, right.
You remember your first audition?
Hey now! My first one.
Didn't they tell you to read? I think they wanted you to read about a salon or something, and you messed it up.
I know it was a biblical reference, and I called it Job instead of Job. I didn't know it was a biblical reference, and I started, and then Job, so and so. Mr. Engel kidded me about it after Engel and his future manager was sitting in the office when I came back from the audition. Said, what did you pronounce that? I said, I'm sorry, boss, you can't. I didn't know you'd put anything biblical in my.
It worked.
You know, it's a wonder you ever got hired.
I don't know.
It worked. It worked, and it worked well.
Much less how you kept the job all these years.
All these years, yeah.
I'm going to remember that.
How many stations have you worked at?
If you worked with Tommy, you've heard it over.
Only one.
You know, in addition to being a great news anchor, that Carol's a pretty good comedian too.
Yeah, he is.
I just set him up. I give him the straight line.
You're the straight guy. You're the straight guy.
Yeah. You know how he keeps in shape, don't you? Oh man, he touches those toes. That's amazing.
50 times.
Really?
Every morning.
Every morning. 50 times. Listen, it's
Before you come to work?
Before I come to work, I touch it, and then I take the shoes off the dresser and put them on my feet.
It's an old joke.
Hey, we're old disc jockeys. We love old jokes.
You've gotten a lot of mileage out of that, though.
Yeah.
The wicker basket's my favorite, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you
Remember
need
the
more
wicker
fiber
basket?
in your diet,
That's
don't you?
right. Visit to the doctor.
Is that what?
Oh yeah, doctor. I went to the doctor. He put me on one of these fiber diets, high fiber diets, and I had to get off of it because I started passing wicker furniture. My wife.
First one was a little stool.
First one was
a little stool.
Now my wife wants a couch and a chair, and I can't do it.
Then one about your credit card. Oh,
yeah.
That was a sad one, Gene. Somebody stole Mary's purse.
Yeah, stole her purse.
Did you call the
Credit
police?
card. I didn't call the police. That's so I can kick my tail. I didn't call, and people asked me why. I said, well, whoever stole it is using it less than she did, so I figured I'm coming out better.
Ben gave me the camera to take.
Be careful, you'll break it.
Yes. You're so funny.
Is this the meet and greet line for Tommy Jet?
It is. There's the band right there. Here's David. I'm Charlie. Back in. Charlie, how do you get along? Bob, Charles Carr.
At this point, I'm.
Yeah, I just read from and I was down there with Charlie Hart, Charlie, Steve Tilley, and Lloyd Payne. That was I was the last one to roll. Really good. And Alvin, I got him out and rolled him down those steps. Good job.
They turned it from what they had. You know, you could listen to Big 8 down in Jacksonville. So just
Okay, so sit still now. Let me get a. See, I got somebody's.
got your feet.
Yeah, oh yeah, thank you. Yeah. Oh, that's great there. That's great. There you go.
Okay, thank you. All right. John, I gotta get
My money's on somebody else.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to try.
Retiring, I have no plans.
Yeah.
When the voice begins to quiver, that's what I tell them. You know, I might step down.
But as long as there's a dog to find somewhere.
I'll try, yes. Keep at it.
Did you hear what Bill Miller said about? He was asking Dale Anthony about Luther. He said, "Well, when you go, what are you going to do to take over when Luther hangs? You know, Luther's got to drop in numbers occasionally at some point." And he said, "No, honey, what I'm going to do here is just wait until Luther retires, and he's got to retire sooner or later." He's 52 years old right now. He's got to retire.
52.
I remember when I was at Fly and GOW had the Mojo Man on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
they were talking. He was 30 years old, and I can remember having a conversation with guys that were working here. I said, "Who wants to hire a 30-year-old guy? I mean, you know, and play rock and roll. I mean, you know." Mojo Man.
Yeah.
I remember him. Sid. What's his
Grubbs.
Yeah.
I don't remember him.
Oh yeah.
Who's that?
Hey, he was a little bit like Tommy Jet in that he kind of danced to his own tune. You know, he's kind of
Wore turban.
yeah, wore a big turban. Yeah, yeah.
I just barely remember him.
Get a picture of all you guys together. He wasn't here long.
Dex, baby.
Ben, how are you?
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
Well, I retired from Providence about 11 years ago, and then I went to work for the church that I go to, and kind of still doing that.
Wow.
I've got a long career here.
And you know what it's like to
I didn't show up with
a pair of shoes, and went up down in Tom McCann shoes by any stretch of the but they were brand new shoes, and Ron was going to show everybody how comfortable it was to walk in a pair of Tom McCann shoes. But we had a plan. We had a plan. That's right. But they took pictures of him with the Tom McCann shoes. I think the press was there, TV or whatever, and took pictures of him starting out the walk with Tom McCann shoes. Then I was supposed to come along with tennis shoes and bring him a pair of comfortable tennis shoes in case there was any pain along the way.
This is a true story.
and I just forgot to come along. Yes, I forgot to come along. I probably had been out partying all night that night, and I may have been hungover. I don't know what I was, but I didn't get there. You should have meant to bring those shoes.
I did. I didn't bring them. Ron's ankles were swollen.
And when I did get there, Ron was walking on his ankles. Oh, man. I mean, he was his feet had already turned. Thanks to a couple of Marine recruits, I remember it well. They helped me get in.
Sure. Okay. Okay, so see what we got here. Wait, let me get this.
Greater Chattanooga's most powerful radio voice, JetFly WFLI. Lookout Mountain, Tennessee. Now on we go with a musical show on down beat, 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 beat.
Yeah, buddy, I remember that one.
There was also another version of that.
Now, Jetstream news from every point in the universe. Instant news from WFLI.
Yeah. Betty Ann got a lot of those. That's
There is one thing for sure.
Yeah.
WFLI, award-winning news.
Yeah, I've got a copy of that. That's good. That is really good stuff, man.
The WFLI traffic signal is now yellow. Roads are wet and dangerous in the Chattanooga area. Drive with care.
And then there's, hey Luther, there's
the WFLI traffic signal is
I've got
now
all
yellow.
those.
Traffic is
That
heavy
is some
and
good
dangerous.
stuff, man.
Exercise caution.
So now, when did you were here, Charlie? When?
mid-61.
The WFLI traffic signal is now red.
Mid-61 till around summer of 64.
Okay.
I worked part-time on the weekends. I was still in school.
Okay.
And worked summer vacation.
Now, where did you go to school?
I went to McCall.
Okay.
Hi, Luther. I'm Charles Darr. I used to work here in the mid-60s under the name Charlie Brown. And this is Luce, my wife.
She asked me what this was, and I said,
Supposed to meet you?
Looks like it. Looks like a chicken nugget or something.
So did Mr. Benz give you the name Charlie Brown?
No, as a matter of fact, I think that was between Johnny Eagle and Bill Hall.
Okay.
Because I remember when Johnny gave me the job, they said, well, what are you going to call yourself? People used like a name back then. And so my first name was Charles already, it was Charlie. And so either Johnny or Bill piped up and said, why don't you call yourself Charlie Brown? So that was it. That's where the name Charlie Brown came from.
Love it. All right, man.
They never did
I never forget one time I made a mistake.
Okay. That's been a while.
Well, it ain't been long. It was just last week.
Really?
Yeah.
He just now calling?
No, I didn't call.
Oh, you didn't call?
No, I didn't call, but I decided, what the hell.
You ever think that if Elvis was alive, he'd probably be here today?
You know, you may have a point, Ron. You may have a point.
Running a damn car off of
He's talking about Hank Williams Jr. I don't know
You call him Hank Williams Jr.?
Yeah, we know him. He played out in the lobby. His mother, Nadine Gray, were best friends.
Well, his mother would bring him by JetFly when he was just
about 12 years
a little
old.
boy, and she'd say, now, man, he's going to be as good as his daddy. He's going to be a good singer. He can really sing. You know?
Yeah, and she tried to make him Hank Williams, but that didn't work. But he's going to call me. I told his manager about the story of how I met his mother, Audra.
Well, he will call you then.
Yeah. And he said, you know.
Okay, this is a trivia question for Tommy Jet.
Okay.
He will know the answer. I guarantee you he will, although you may not think he would.
Okay.
That's good.
Who came by the station, pulled in right out front here, and the car had big steer horns on Webb Pierce. That's a hood ornament, and silver dollars embedded in the leather seats. Webb Pierce. Name a Webb Pierce song.
There stands the glass.
I think you got it.
I know damn.
I think he got it.
I know damn well I did.
I thought he was going to say say, I worked so hard at the sawmill, didn't you?
No. I did a show with Webb Pierce at the Chattanooga Choo Choo. Me and Jerry Pond and Christy Lane was on that show. Her bus broke down in Mont Eagle. She was about an hour late, so I had time to spend with Webb Pierce.
So you remembered the car?
Yeah, oh sure, the white,
Silver dollars.
Silver dollars, silver dollars, and a big horn, big horns on the front of it.
Yeah,
sure I do. Yeah, I've got a.
Were you a big Webb Pierce fan?
No.
You weren't.
No, not really.
Webb Pierce had one song that knocked me out. I ain't never seen nobody like you. I ain't never.
I like yesterday. I like there stands. Mine was out there stands a glass.
Seen nobody like you. No, but I love you.
Mine is there stands the glass.
Yeah.
Well, there stands the glass.
Well, Tommy would like there stands the glass because that's an old honky tonk.
Well, yeah.
We like that upbeat stuff.
Well, that one work song he had was, I worked so hard at the sawmill trying to make a dollar, trying to make a living, trying to make a dollar bill. That's one of my Webb Pierce.
Oh, yeah, that was a good song.
He and Ray Stevens fell out because he had a big guitar swimming pool. It was a swimming pool, but it was shaped like a guitar, and the tourists would drive by there to see it and everything, and Ray Stevens didn't live far from him, and he raised hell with him about it.
Ray Stevens?
Yeah, Ray Stevens.
Okay, Tommy, here's another quick trivia question. We're going from country this time to give me the girl with the skinny legs and all. Who did that song?
Oh, yeah, you got me there.
I can tell you. I'll tell you who did it. Joe Tex.
Exactly.
Joe Tex. Oh, yeah, Joe Tex.
On a dial label.
And on the flip side of the label was a song.
All I take of this.
Was a song. You had better hold on to what you got.
Hold on to what you got.
Yeah, I remember Joe Tex. Yeah.
You still got
I wanted to go. I want to go to my car and get that picture and show you.
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
Yeah. It's a good one.
That's your intent right now.
How long does it take you to do that?
I've tried that several times. Yeah, I know.
I just talked to
My leader.
What a crew.
You will, indeed. Good to see you, man.
He talks to everybody.
Jewel right there.
So what radio station are you with now? You know, that's how, because I've been coming around.
Brother Max?
Let's get another one here.
Chipster? Doing all right? I'm lovely. Unbutton a couple buttons so we can see that scar. You don't want to do that.
I'm not seeing through the...
Okay.
That's my $50,000 scar. I'm on charge to see it. You ain't getting out for no $50,000.
Thank God Obamacare's out there right now.
Oh, yeah. That cost me about $2,000.
Good to see you.
This is Ron Arnold. Ron Arnold.
I tell you, Mr. Benz one time had a bounty, and it was $5,000. Now, being from Middle Tennessee and these other little towns, all of us DJs wanted that $5,000. But all we had to do for $5,000 was to beat you in the ratings.
And guess what? We didn't do it.
Oh, we didn't get close.
So then come for their 5,000.
Yeah, Luther.
You got it.
Yeah, come to Luther inducted me in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Who arranged that? Sure did. Who arranged that?
This guy right here. I love him.
I love you, baby. All right.
This guy right here arranged it.
You're looking well.
Well,
We got to figure out somebody for you to induct this year.
yeah.
Sure, I know what I'm doing here. This thing right there. Rebel Drive. Here comes the girl.
The girl. Her name was all over the car.
That's right. Big Leslie. That was it. Tommy was 19 or 20.
David?
Used to that. That's not a problem.
Hey, Dad.
Throw it over the sidewalk.
You know that there were 3 trials.
Okay.
I think we may have been...
We're telling lies.
You're listening.
looking at that shopping center.
And
we're talking about sales because Walter was always a great announcer, but he said he wanted to learn a little bit more about sales. So we're looking over there. I said, now I want you to look over there and think about this. Yeah, you're going to go over there and sell these people. And I could tell what was running through his mind. How am I going to do that? But to his credit, he went back and he got his share out of that shopping center and did a great job. He's well disciplined and always just gold that most people wouldn't sit, but he would always.
Well, we learned from the best. Who else could take a daytime station in Dalton, Georgia that signed on the air at 7:45 and get Station of the Year in Georgia, in the state of Georgia?
Well, we had good people, didn't we? This shows you what good people can do.
We signed on the air, no morning drive, 7:45, and got Station of the Year. And the governor comes in and congratulates us. So that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of promotion.
You guys did a lot of hard work, too, I'll tell you.
Do it, stranger.
I want him to narrate my view.
All right, I want a video.
That was the daylight savings time. Oh, okay.
All right, I want a video here. We're doing a video. All right, one more time now. Here we go.
WFLI, Lookout Mountain, Chattanooga. David Carroll with the best music at 6 o'clock.
You got it. Hey, all right. Woo!
Set on the card.
Already.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, what'd you tell him?
You don't want to know.
Well, I should.
I guess if you wanted to close the door, maybe.
I'll let go.
You going on the air, Bob? Yeah.